Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the start of your Wednesday night entertainment here at the Hungaroring. This 2.722 mile 14 corner circuit was built in 1985 and has hosted many Formula 1 races since it opened officially in 1986. The Hungaroring is a very unique track that requires a very stable yet nimble car. It is probably one of the most challenging circuits on the calendar. Unfortunately, it is rather narrow, so overtaking isn't the easiest here. There is 2 DRS zones and both provide overtaking opportunities, but unless there's a mistake or a very opportunistic chance, you're unlikely to pass anywhere, be it turns 1 and 2. We've seen 3 fantastic races so far in our race week, and I expect more of the same from the 2 races tonight. Hopefully I can keep up with it all. So, joining me in the comms box this evening... wait, what? Okay, apparently I don't have a co-commentator this evening. He's been kidnapped by the Williams team and forced into the cockpit instead. So unfortunately for you lot, you're stuck with little old me for the evening. However, I hear word we have an old friend at the trackside who will be able to give us some insights into the weather and hopefully provide a little extra entertainment as we go along. So, Gavely Pinkham, are you there and able to hear me over the noisy engines?
Hello there, I'm down at turn 2 and it's very dry at the moment. Apparently the weather forecast is to be dry all the way through the qualifying and race there, Mr. Simba. Just watching some of these cars coming down into turn 2, absolutely phenomenal at the moment. I'm just about to see an Alpha Tauri coming.
Oh, that's immense. Well, you keep us updated there, Gavely. Let's jump on board with Mr. Diodon and see how he gets on the first flying lap of the evening. A flat wide open, down into turn 1, he goes for a nice tight line, plenty of curb, flat wide open coming on the exit, heading down to turn 2, that'll be the end of the 2 DRS zones. So there we go, he wants nice and tight for turn 2, across and cut. He could have cut a little bit more for 3, but not too bad. Wants to be over to the right hand side for 4. It's very blind crest is that one. Oh, and he's lost it unfortunately. Must be a commentator's curse thing.
Yeah, it's so easy to lose at the top of that hill though.
Oh it is, I got a little bit leery there the other night.
Yeah.
Without even trying.
Yes.
I was trying to give myself a little bit more rotation and change the diff and made it really, really interesting.
Yeah, this circuit, especially the curbs on this circuit, are just lethal.
Let's see how Rob Smith does. He had a much better entry into turn 1. Just heading down towards turn 2. Let's see what we get. Nice powerful entry into that. Looks nicely hooked up. Is he going to catch the curb? Yeah, he got. You can go a little bit more, but as I found out a few seasons ago, you can also crash there. A little bit wide into 4, but not the end of the world. 5, nice and tight. We should have a first sector time. Nope, oh, I missed that one. One of the trickiest corners on the circuit is that chicane, and then into the 2 fast left and right. He seems to have it quite hooked up. On the borderline of invalidating there though. So it's just coming to the end of the second sector and into the newer part of the track. As some of the old school people will remember, the track didn't used to have this section. It just used to cut across. Well, let's see what Rob's made of this. He's gone wide to narrow approaching the final corner. DRS flat wide open, and we are going to get a 118.1, which puts him provisionally P2. Let's go. Why is Mr. Night Shadow so slow?
I'm letting people past. But
oh, you're here!
Yeah, I've chosen to do it at a very bad part of the circuit.
Yeah, well, the middle sector isn't a great place to let people past, full stop.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Let's see how the Rooster's doing. If I recall correctly, he won our rerun of Portugal.
He did. He did really well.
During the bank holiday break.
He did.
Is this a return to form for Jacob, I wonder? Well, anybody who's been with us for a while will remember that he was the champion of Tier 3 in Season 4. And just seemed to lose his way a little bit after that. I think he got a bit swallowed up in Tier 2, to be honest.
He did, indeed, but he's back. He won that race. He did a really good... I went for him at the end, but just couldn't get to him.
let's see who else we've got on the lap. Neil's invalidated. That Night Shadow's doing his own safety car restart at super slow speed.
Of course.
Mr. Buildy Baldy. Let's see how he's getting on. I know he's been requesting to move up to Tier 2, so he'll be aiming for the top end of this tier at the end of the season.
That's it.
So he gets offered the promotion. Although I believe Jackster's also questioning if he can go up as well, so it depends how many we can move.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing, it's all based on merit. It's not just based upon because people want to or that. It is genuinely all based on merit.
Well, I know some of these that have been asking are actually in the top 3 at the moment.
Exactly.
So they're in the right place for it. It's just how many we can actually move up realistically, and who can come down to fill the gaps.
Exactly.
You not thought of earning yourself promotion?
Oh, I do try every so often, but apparently the word DNF seems to spring into mind.
Oh, not the dreaded DNF.
Yeah, I've had 4 of those this season.
Your season seems to be going as bad as my last one.
Yeah, this season, but then this is the thing. MRCX, superb, leading the championship by about 18 points. But Tier 3, nah. Not happening.
It's weird because I've always found I have more success in tiers than X. And there's Ghost Rider though,
yeah.
the 1:17.5. That's a hell of a lap. He must be making the most of that practice he had on Monday, sorry, when he joined us in Tier 2.
Ah, Mr. Casper himself.
He wasn't slow, I'll give him that.
Well, I can tell you, Gavley can tell you, it's dry in the race. No rain.
I bet some boys will be pleased to hear that. What about yourself, Mr. Gav? What's your thoughts on a dry race?
Nah. Rain spices it up a little bit, and especially around here. Now, I remember the last time we raced in Hungary.
Yes, so do I.
And it was raining. And it was absolutely lashing it down. And I was in a big battle with a well-known fashion brand, and said individual tried to beat me, but I can assure you he heard the Scottish Lion roar.
So did the rest of us that were in the party that night.
Exactly. As it should be.
Or should I say, we're trying to fight our way around very tricky corners. I believe I was at turn 1 at this point. And you would have been nice and calm and serene all night, suddenly exploded.
That is exactly it. I was quiet all the way.
It was some like outburst of emotion expressing your love for this gentleman that you were about to overtake.
Yes.
And nearly caused me to crash.
Yes. To be fair, I think I caused Connor to nearly have a...
Yeah, I think you gave Connor a heart attack as well, because he was with us that night.
He was indeed. I don't actually know who won that race, to be fair. It wasn't me.
I think
it was Mindful, was it not?
I believe it was Mindful Wasp.
Yeah, exactly. And he's in tonight.
He is. He's in Connor's seat.
He is.
So I hope he's emptied it of the bottles.
I was about to say, Lewis, make sure there's no bottles in that Red Bull. Connor may have left some.
And just for those that may be a little bit confused, the other Red Bull is not actually occupied by Dumbest Hornet. It is Baby Hornet. He's had a little bit of an issue with his PlayStation. As in, it's erased all his data and his Welsh Wi-Fi is horribly slow. So he couldn't get on in time, so he's gone to his brother's to try and race, and the PlayStation wouldn't let him sign in on his own account. That's the fun for the evening, but Dumbest Hornet is actually Baby Hornet. Yeah. So if he gets in your way or causes you any issues, shout at Simon, not Chris.
Exactly. Well, this is it.
Are you actually on a fast lap now?
Yep.
Well, we'll watch on board with you and let you concentrate for a minute then. Oh yes, this section of track looks very familiar, where you expressed your undying love.
Absolutely.
About here.
Yes, that was it, exactly.
Although if you watch Tier 2, I managed a very, as Simon said, spectacular overtake there the other night.
Yeah,
and I still do not know how I managed it.
Yep.
That was one of them, you could not plan for it, it just happened in the moment.
Yep. Oh, it's a little bit... It's a banker lap.
But at least it'll be a lap on the board.
Yep, true.
Final couple of corners. Oh, we get a nice shot of that corner. On the off board. Sort of spans the whole corner so you can see the other two as well.
Nice.
There we go, flappy time for Gav. And, pardon, that's a banker?
Yes. Why, what did I finish? Ooh!
Fourth with a 1:17.7. Fun fact, that's faster than my qualifying lap from the other night.
Wow. And do you know what? My first sector was abysmal.
Qualifying at Hungary is not my strong point. It seems to be race where I come alive.
Yeah. Qualifying's never my strong point.
I don't know why, but I just seem to come alive in the race here.
Yeah.
I think it's just the consistency, lap after lap after lap.
Yeah.
Although, I must admit, a certain, I believe it was Sociopath, kept me very, very busy the other night.
Well, I was enjoying Hungary on Friday night until I got VMAXed.
Yeah, that's
turn 11.
That's not something you ever want to get.
No. I mean, there are other petrol brands out there, like BP Ultimate, but if you fancy a spin every so often, VMAX it. I'm only joking.
Although I thought it was called V-Power, but there we go.
Oh yeah, so it is. Oops.
Looks like Scottish Ninja will be the next one to start a lap, so we'll stay with him, since everybody else is pretty much hiding in the pit lane.
I've just seen the Fox Rivers exited the session.
Oh, I must have missed that. Too busy trying to keep you on a leash.
That's true, yes. V-Power, that's it.
But yeah, if that's a banker lap, then I dread to think what a good run is.
Well, I'm going to try again now and see what's what.
It could be a tier 2 is calling you, Gav.
No, never.
Scottish Ninja's invalidated, unfortunately. Let's have a look at Boothie in the aptly named Rotherhas. Not many options at the moment. I think Boothie's just starting a lap. We'll stick with it anyway, see how he gets on. Speaking of Haas, I was reading Gunther Steiner's book a couple of weeks ago.
Gunther!
Yes, Gunther!
Gunther!
Anybody who likes reading F1 sort of autobiographies, or his is more of a diary style, about how the season went. If you're interested in that kind of thing, read it. It is brilliant.
Today I got up and I fell out with Mick Schumacher. He cost me money. I have to speak to Jean.
Your accent's a bit off, but...
We look inept.
Yeah, I suppose we can't say on stream what he actually said. We could go for the alternative. We look like a bunch of rock stars.
We do. We look like a bunch of freakies.
He does not beep smash my door.
No, he does not. Smash my door. Da da da.
But yeah, if you're interested in that kind of thing, read it. It is amazing.
I should actually, do you know what I thought? If I ever gave up my long and varied job, I could do audiobooks and make it entertaining for people. Imagine they were reading or they were listening to some form of murder mystery, and it's all quiet. And then bang!
Bit like the Hungary race then.
Yes.
But back to the qualifying. Mindful Wasp has improved and now gone P2. And Ghost Rider has improved his lap to a 1:17.1. Donny's just snuck his way into P2.
Does that mean I'm P7?
You're P6.
Woohoo!
Donny's done a 1:17.619. Mindful Wasp did a 1:17.627.
Nice. Good pace from the boys.
So nice and tight there.
Yep.
This is reminding me a little bit of Tier 2, where the top ones are sort of in a league of their own. And then you've got P2 down to P8, separated by 0.2.
It's going to be a fight a drive to the line.
Wasn't Season 7, Connor, it was Season 8, but good evening, how are you?
What's Connor saying about it? Oh yeah, it was Season 8. Because we were in the Alpha Tauris, the ones that won the Constructors' Championship.
And the drivers.
Oh yes, that. I won the Singapore race. You were second.
Certainly did.
And Connor had a heart-to-heart with...
Neil.
Yes, who's racing tonight.
That was the race where you offered to play the team game and gift me the win, and I told you not to.
Yes, that is it.
Because I think we had Japan the race after, and I was quite confident for Japan.
Yes, that was it. We were.
Well, let's have a quick look at YouTube while we've got a minute. So, Geke says hello, lads. Randy says good evening. Roundy said mindful wasp with a pair of eyes. Martin has said good evening in Hungarian. I ain't even going to try and say it.
Goulash.
That's not what he's put. Connor's put Gav having his little moment in Season 7 nearly made me blow up in a wall in Turn 3. Oh yeah, Season 8. I ate some Armco barrier. Yes, you did at Singapore. Neil was being kind, he fed you.
The soup of some young man.
Wow.
Well, they got it on together. They were entangled.
Let's stay on board with the Hornet. See what he can do at his final attempt. So Ghost Rider Donny, Mindful Wasp, Scottish Ninja, RFC Danny, Boothie, Fox and Mutz Nuts will take no further part. Neither will Single Track and Neil. The others could potentially be on laps, or some could be on cooldowns. I'm assuming you're on a cooldown?
Nope.
Oh, are we improving?
Yes.
Let's have a quick look at your improvement. Splendid lap, Mr. Gav. P3.
Thanking you.
10th and a half off.
I'll take that.
By the way,
But
Tier 2 is calling.
no. No. Simply put, no. Never.
With qualifying times like that.
Do you know what though? If you look at that, Ghost Rider and Panizza, superb laps. But even if you then say, right, well, for instance, Melbourne and Jacksta down to 9th and 10th. Scotch Ninja doing well in 11th. Dumbest Hornet, underperforming. Bad Chris.
Remember, that's Baby Hornet, Bad Simon.
I know it is. But we'll go with it. The Hornet is currently being outdone by the Wasp in the battle of the yellow and black striped stinger things that pop out when they get excited.
Oh my god. Have you seen the gap between P1 and 2? It is
like
3 thousandths of a second.
Yeah.
So there we
That
go.
is tight.
Ghost Rider takes pole. Panizza is pretty much sat on his gearbox in second. Yourself, Gav, take third. Donny fourth. Mindful Wasp fifth. Fire J sixth. Rob Smith seventh. Single Track eighth. Melvin ninth. Jackster 10th. Scottish Ninja 11th. Era Voice 12th. Dumbest Hornet. Baby Hornet 13th. RFC Danny 14th. Boothy 15th. Neil 16th. B17 is 17th. Fox River 18th. Backmazer 19th. And Mutts Nuts is 20th. The only thing qualifying really means here, though, is the further up you are, the less people you've got to try and get past.
That's true. Now,
But
the question
there's probably
for
going to be spins and safety cars aplenty.
there is. Question for you is, who, if anyone, will start on the softs?
Maybe someone who needs mental help?
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Is that a clue that you're planning it?
No, I'm not planning anything.
Although you do need mental help, so
I do, yeah.
that would be rather accurate.
But I'm not planning on starting on the softs. I'll start on the intermediatos.
Why the intermediatos?
Because they are luxurious.
They are rain tyres.
Yes, I know. But I can't have opposite numbers in front of me knowing what I am doing. I could be on the softs.
You probably are, knowing you.
No. Not at all. Oh! Pizza boys on the mediums!
Let's have a look at tyres. Nobody's gone softs.
Well, that's just disappointing.
So Pizza Boy, Fire J, Jackster, Boothy, Bildy Baldy and Backmazo are all on mediums. Everyone else has gone for the hards.
Panizza spun out of turn one!
Well, that's a good start. He's on the better grip tyres as well.
Yep. Can I just say, if that gets repeated on lap one, I'll be happy.
So harsh.
But true.
Have you got a thing against Alfa Romeos?
Who did I insult last time in an Alfa Romeo like? No one.
Wasn't your friend in an Alfa Romeo when you declared your love for him?
Who was that?
At this track?
Oh,
I can't remember what he was driving, to be fair.
no. I think he was in a Mercedes, actually. I mean, that horrible thing. Yeah.
It's not the worst.
It very much is.
I'm just going to have a look now.
I'm sure it was a Mercedes, actually, because I took great delight in overtaking.
It was a Mercedes, you are very correct. I must be thinking when he returned to the league he was in an Alfa Romeo.
Well, he was, until he then suddenly departed again. In, out, shake it all about. And then he wiped it on the curtains on his way out.
Gav!
Sorry. Behaved myself.
Yes, please do.
I try.
So quickly, while everybody's lining up, Gavley,
Yes.
any predictions for the race?
Well, Mark, I've had a think about it, and looking at some of the strategies and looking at the pace, I don't think Pizza Boy's going to make it past turn one. So I'm going to go for Donny Osmond or a Mindful Wasp to win. I think Mindful might take his second win at Hungary.
Interesting thought, but yeah, I could kind of get with that. There we go, let's clear the screen, hopefully get a better camera angle because the lights are on. That's the fourth one, the fifth one, and tier 3 goes racing. I cannot see any. Oh, there we go. What a start from the AlphaTauri. I believe it will be Donny, that one. I think he's going to take the lead into turn 1. Although Ghost Rider's managed to keep it on the brakes. But they're still battling on the way down to turn 2. There's a Red Bull getting very, very interested as well. And then that green thing behind looks mouldy. That must be you. That's that. So everybody seems to have got away quite well, barring RFC Danny, who seems to have had a little bit of an issue, unfortunately. He's now about 5 seconds back off the pack. Must be losing the sat-nav, hasn't done him any favours. And Pizza is down to P7, so not the best start for himself.
Gavley did say he would make an error.
Oh, Melvin's just gone round like a sack of potatoes at the chicane. He's now down to P19. But Danny is now back on the pack, so he's clearly got the pace. There we go, running order. Coming up towards the end of lap 1 is Ghost Rider, Donny, Mindful Wasp, yourself, Gav, Jackster, Fire J, Pizza, Single Track, Rob Smith, Scottish Ninja, B17, Baby Hornet, Boothy, Neil, Era Voice, Pat Mazo, Fox River, Mutz Nuts, Melvin and Danny. First fastest lap from Ghost Rider. He did get an amazing start from pole, so that's to be expected. And Boothy's retired. Where's he gone? I can't see yellow or anything. Them marshals must be so quick around here. It's like bang and the Boothy is gone.
Yep.
But there's a massive gap formed between B17 and Neil. And between Rob Smith and Ninja, looking at the track map, although
the top three are Ghost Rider's either just getting the tyres warmed up or he's struggling. Oh, Donny's run wide coming into the chicane. Mindful's going to have a look. He's run wide!
Yep, Mindful's got him. See, me and Hodgie obviously were racing this the other night. Hodgie was saying he was fine on his tyres in the first few laps. I was really struggling for front end. So I think it really depends on yourself.
Oh,
Donny's dropped like a brick. He's now down to P8.
Yeah, he went up the inside of me into the penultimate corner and we had a little bit of wheel banging, and that's obviously just enough to unsettle the car, as we know.
That's not the best place to try and move here. But we move on. DRS has now been activated and Mindful Wasp has got some work to do if he wants it next lap round. Because he's going to have a Bond car up his bum. The Bond car driven by a madman with a green helmet.
Yep.
Where's your blue helmet gone?
Burned. Do you know what's more interesting, just whilst we're going with this? The two cars behind me are both on the mediums. They need to absolutely make their moves quickly, otherwise their whole strategy is going to be thrown out the window.
True. Are you hungry, Gav?
No. Why?
Because you've got a pizza very close. It's like it's chasing you around.
He's 7/10 behind.
He wasn't when I started saying that.
No.
But he is one of the medium runners, so he really needs to get a move on, as does a Fire J behind him. So let's jump on board with yourself and see if you can make any headway onto the Buzzy Wasp. Not particularly, but he is going like the clappers down that main straight. He has some serious straight line speed.
He does. Lewis has always been really good at that kind of balance between straight line speed and downforce. There are a few corners where he just seems to be a little bit precarious, but where he wants to be, he smashes it.
Yeah, as I knew all too well when we were battling a little bit in Season 8 for the title.
Yeah.
Or at least a championship lead at that point.
Yeah.
I was always pretty stable and then thinking, right, I've got the pole in the bag, and then he'd go and smash it.
Yep, indeed.
And even if I got past him, he'd be rapid down every straight.
Yep.
It was a nightmare to try and keep him behind. So if he gets himself back to full racing like he used to,
he'll be a threat.
He could be a force to be reckoned with next season. I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with down this start-finish straight, actually. because he's coming. He's coming. He's going to pick a side. Oh, outside. He's going for the switchback. Oh, clever move. DRS.
He's just not. Oh.
Ghost Rider
Do you know what?
just covered him off there.
He was really clever there because, and I think he's learned a lot from the time that he's been away, because I think in previous seasons he probably would have tried to put a nose up there and it wouldn't have paid off, and he knows that he's got the pace, so right now he's just got to balance it and just keep on at Ghost Rider.
I think he'll have him before long, because he will just sit there and put the pressure on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
he will pressure and pressure and pressure, and then eventually you'll start to get complacent, thinking, "Oh well, yeah, I've got him now. I've got the measure of him. I've got the measure of him," and then suddenly he's flying past you.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, what happened there? Where did he go? Although he's quite a bit closer this time. I wonder if he's got it this time.
It's interesting watching the different lines that he and Ghost Rider take into that final corner, and here he goes looking up the inside.
Up the inside, brilliant. If he can get it stopped in time. Ghost Rider's not giving this one up though, as I know from when I had a battle with him the other night.
He's going to try it on
He's
the
on the inside.
Oh, a little bit of wheel banging there, but nice, respectful.
Great defending there by Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Both of them, absolutely.
Lewis watched my overtake the other night. Ooh, a little bit wide there, but yeah. I think he'd watched mine from the other night there.
Yeah. He really did. There's certain parts of this track you can overtake on if you've got the traction and if you're quick enough. That is one of them. But
yeah,
now he's got to defend.
He's going to have to absolutely motor himself. Although he does have the straight line speed, which will be a bit of an advantage to him.
It does indeed.
Let's have a look a little bit further back. That pizza's still following you.
Right.
Are you sure you're not hungry, Gav?
Nah.
I'll stay on board with the pizza. Oh, that's just giving me a rear wing shot, which I really didn't want. Ooh, Gav having a little look there.
Well, there's strategy in play here, shall we say, Mr. Simba, and that strategy has just paid off, I think, behind me.
No,
possibly.
I think the pizza's just managed to defend it. Did you get a little tap from the pizza at turn 1?
No, I didn't, but I put my car in a defensive motion before I engaged my warp speed.
It was really weird on the stream. It looked like he sort of partially ghosted and his front end merged with your rear end.
Oh, can't have that now.
Watch it back on the stream. It was very, very strange how that looked. Because normally that means there's been a bit of a tap.
Yeah.
Melvin's in the pits. Just come out. Must have been some damage because he's gone onto the mediums. You ain't getting to the end from there.
Definitely not.
Oh,
I've
just realised. Well, that was a brave attempt from Martin. The Williams teammates for the evening are ex-McLaren Tier 2 teammates.
Oh.
Fire Jane single track.
Ah.
I think Pizza's going to have you here. He's
no.
He's going around the outside. Who's going to have the better traction? You got a nice launch there, but he's going to have the inside for 2. Brilliant, respectful racing. And you're still there.
Yeah.
That was heavy.
Yeah, that was. And there's only, to be fair, he's not the battle right now. So there's no point. Oh, Danny's retired.
Danny's out. That looks like
that's in pit lane.
That's pit lane. Nah,
yeah,
naughty Danny.
I wonder if he had some damage.
If he had rear damage or whatever, you best send me a picture of it, Danny. We'll have a chat about that afterwards, though. back to the racing for now. Let's have a look at Scottish Ninja, see how he's getting on.
This is a race of attrition, right? Nothing is won on one overtake or anything like that. It is literally going to come down to probably the final few laps. Who can take the hards the longest, put softs on at the end? Who can go medium, hard, medium? Is there going to be safety cars?
You've been watching Carl and Lorpy from the other night?
No.
Because they both did hard to soft.
Well, I tried to do that in MRCX. However, it didn't work. Because of obvious reasons.
I wouldn't fancy it personally.
It's actually not as bad as it seems, because you'll have low fuel. The circuit's ramped in, so.
Good question, Mr. Soze. Let's have a quick look at the tyres. So the only pitters so far have been 2 Ferraris, Fox and Melvin, and Jackster. Everyone else is still on what they started with. Let's get rid of that anyway. We don't want too much stuff on the screen. Blocks away the racing. And we have a yellow flag for a McLaren. I believe that's Neil.
Yes.
And it looks like he's had a bit of fun with turn 4.
The usual.
Yeah. That, because it's so blind, you just need to know where to turn in.
Yeah.
And it is a bit of a gamble, because you don't always get the same entry speed every lap.
Nope.
I think that's why when I tried changing my diff, I had that little bit of a Larry issue, and it put me off, so I changed it back and never tried it again. Because I had Sociopath pushing me along all race. I'm not joking, I could draw you the front end of his Alpine from my rear view mirror, and he could probably draw you my gearbox and diffuser.
Yeah.
That's how close we were all race.
Wow.
A bit like what you and Fire J are at the moment.
Yeah. So Panizza's medium tyres are probably going to start to go off soon.
I suspect in the next 4 to 5 laps. But yeah, in the next 2 or 3 he's probably going to see a drop in pace. But you can run comfortably 15, 16 laps on them.
Yeah.
Mindful's sort of managing to break the DRS. This gap is hovering around 1 second to Ghost Rider. Assuming he would like a little more, but then again Ghost Rider would like to be a little closer. It's just how it goes.
Oh, that's alright, that's Danny.
Yeah, he's already DNF, so he's just left the session.
I just see the white text come up on the bottom of the screen, you go, ooh!
Yeah, what's happened now?
Look for safety cars.
And Ghost Rider has, believe, managed to get back in the DRS. No, he hasn't. He wasn't in it at the detection zone. So that's going to leave him open to an attack by the pizza. Can he get into turn 2 is the question. I know for no assist user, Ghost Rider gets some amazing traction out of them first few corners.
He does. He does seem to struggle though in the early stages of the race, but then he seems to come alive at the tail end.
I think sometimes it goes on your setup, track temperature, tyres. Because I find some races I'm straight on it with the hards, and then others I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Whereas Hodgie always seems to be on it, hence why he's top of the championship.
Yeah. 25% higher wear at the moment for me on the hards.
So I'd estimate about 40% then for the mediums.
Yeah.
It's quite a good insight for us to have, is that one. Unfortunately, we don't get tyre graphics.
No, it's abysmal.
Really is. But then again, you've got to ask yourself, would it give a distinct advantage to some people and a disadvantage to others? Because I know some people have race engineers.
Well,
who can feed them the information going, yeah, this person's on 70-odd% tyres, you're on 30-odd%, you've got an advantage.
Panizza's making a move.
Oh, he's gone for the outside. Hardest bit to try. He's gone for the switchback though and got great traction. But has he got the speed? Because Ghost Rider's still on his inside going into 2. Looked a little bit of wheel bashing, but he's got ahead. Nice and respectful. And I see an Aston Martin ready to pounce. Coming up the outside. Ooh, bit of contact there.
That was... oh, mindful spun!
Oh, he'd be kicking himself for that one.
And the single track spun because he tried to go up the inside of me.
What was that single track? I thought it was fired you.
No, he's behind me. Although I would have said turn 4 and 5 aren't exactly overtaking opportunities, but...
Even though you said earlier turn 4 is.
Well, it was.
I reckon Mindful's caught that curb.
I kind of got bounced out the way.
Do you remember how bad that curb used to be though on 2021?
Oh god, that was a abysmal curb. You had to absolutely avoid it.
It was one of them, you know, the proper stone ridiculous curbs you get at bus stops.
Yep.
It was like that.
Oh,
compared to every other one that's tiny. It's like a drop curb, most of them. That one was like a bus stop. Oh, you and Ghost Rider having a bit of a battle side by side. You're going to have the inside for 2 though. Nice line there. But he's still not giving it up easily, is he? Yeah, best thing, tuck him behind. Try another time. Let's go have a look back at Mindful, see what he's doing, because he's on the hunt now. He's only dropped to 6, so it's not awful for him.
Nope. Great racing from him so far.
He has now got Rob Smith in his way, who's just got past Fire J, who's just spun.
Oh no!
I'm sure we may hear more about that one if there was anything wrong, but for now let's carry on. Mindful Wasp is practically pushing Rob Smith around.
Come on, Lewis.
That was a... He tried a late one, it didn't work. He backed out, fair play. He's got so much more speed than a lot of the drivers though.
Yeah.
See what he can do on the main straight. I'm guessing Rob's not on the highest wings.
Oh, piece of spinner in turn 1!
Yep, so he has.
Far.
He's just recovering. He's dropped to P5 and he might be about to lose it to P6 because P17 has just got him as well. That was Ghost Rider in the lead and you free to try and attack him.
Yeah.
Mindful Wasp has got Rob Smith. He's done a U coming out of turn 3.
Wow.
Great move.
Oh.
Good to see this racing from him actually.
Yep. I did shout him as probably the one to win the race. I'm gutted that he had that little moment at the top of turn 5, but...
Well, it depends if you manage to win the race from it.
Well, yeah, but... I don't care about me. I just enjoy racing. Wheel to wheel battle, respective racing. That's what we want.
It certainly is, Mr. Gav. Have you got DRS? I'm assuming you might
do.
You do? And you've got a Mindful Wasp hunting you down.
Yeah.
He's probably going to have a big sting in his tail ready now. Let's go have a look back at Fire J, who had a bit of a spin. He's... Oh, it's ahead of Single Track, so he's behind B17. Single Track's a further 3.5 seconds back. That's where the big gap really kicks in, because it's over 9 seconds to Scottish Ninja, who's running P9, which is...
Excellent.
Yes. It is excellent. He's a tier 4 driver. He's stepped up at last minute. May not have practiced without the line much. Although from what I understand, him and Danny and Biff spend a lot of time racing anyway.
Yeah. Melvin came into this looking for points to catch the Connor Express, but fastest lap isn't what he would have thought and been down wherever he is.
Unfortunately, fastest lap won't do him any good. He's P15 currently.
Oh.
And surprisingly, we're on lap 15 and we've had no safety cars.
I know. couple of opportunities where they could have been.
Oh, now I see Gav ready to pounce. Neil's retired. That's coming off.
Safety car, safety car, safety car, safety car.
Yeah, just coming off turn 5. Oh, that's just scuppered your overtake.
Yeah.
We'll pop tyres back up quickly so we can see who pits.
This is interesting.
Pizza's pitted, single track's pitted.
So this is very interesting because if you put the mediums on now, hard to mediums, you're talking maybe 17 laps at full racing speed. That is doable. Just, yes. But
it would be hairy at the end of it.
Yes, it would. But it's one of these ones you could stay out again and try and run it, but I don't think based upon what we've seen so far safety car wise, I don't think we'll see another one.
No. Well, Pizza's pitted, Single Track's pitted, Scotch Ninja's pitted, Nuts is pitted. I believe Donny's gone 3 lap mediums, so he may have done. Baby Hornet's pitted, Era Voices pitted, Back Mazel's pitted, Melvin's pitted, and Fox River.
So I just had to massively avoid Ghost Rider there because I think he must have had a Delta glitch.
I just spotted that one. You're both coming round, so let's see if you top 6 decide to pit, because there's only the top 6 and Jack's doing 13th that haven't pitted. And you're all diving in. It's like the Congo. Oh, you're all sheep following each other in.
Oh, yes.
Pizza's just coming round the penultimate corner. Ghost Rider's gone soft.
Wow. And I think I might have jumped him.
You are in the lead! So it's now going to be you, Mindful Wasp, Ghost Rider, Rob Smith, Pizza.
I am very... I can only think that Ghost Rider has made an error with those tyres, and that's maybe not what he chose. But we'll see.
I'm pretty sure he's made an error there. You are not getting the softs.
Oh, Scotch Ninja's retired!
That's
in the pit lane. That's at the entrance, is it not?
He's on the start-finish straight.
Oh, has he dropped it then coming out of the final corner?
Must have done, because there's no front wheel.
Wow.
Just managed to get on board with somebody else and find him. I wonder has Ghost Rider maybe been trying to change his setup?
Well,
done it wrong, ended up with softs and maybe forced a wing change or something, and that's why you both managed to jump him.
Maybe, but...
Or is... Shiran, is that Chelsea?
Yes, I think. Yes.
Is calling you for the win.
I wouldn't. Personally, I'll be perfectly honest, I will not win this race. The man who will win this race is behind me.
Who I believe is Confetti, said Ghost Rider had a tyre glitch.
Ah, that has ruined his race. All he can hope for is there is another safety car. Because if he was to even take those tyres to the end, he will be dancing on marbles in a deer suit on ice. And that ain't a good combination.
He would not get to the end, he would be driving on his rims.
Yes, he would.
Those softs are good for about 5 or 6 laps here. Tops. And then they just fall off a cliff big time.
Yeah.
Right. I believe it's Confetti is that. He's saying that he checked just before he went in and it was saying mediums and he's ended up on softs, so... And Connor says Mindful will win because my Red Bull is illegal. Well, that'll mean he'll get disqualified then if your Red Bull's illegal.
He'll be the first Red Bull driver not to bottle job.
Although, credit where it's due, Connor's been dropping his bottles recently.
He has indeed. He's been throwing them at people. It's like Mario Kart.
let's not upset him, and we need him to commentate Friday for X.
We do indeed. We love you, Connor, you know that. I think the safety car will be in this lap.
I know you're racing and I want to race.
Yeah.
I love Japan.
Japan is great.
It's already done the ball. Who said it's just one ball? There could be more.
There is.
We
It's
don't
a
know how many
24 pack.
We don't know how many he's got hidden under that seat.
Yep. It's got to be in this lap.
Yeah, it should be. Pax bunch.
Yep.
There we go. Safety car in this lap. So we're still predicting Mindful for the win, I believe. See, I was going to think Ghost Rider, but that tyre glitch, I believe, has just ruined it for him. Although I think Mindful is a good call if he doesn't find another ball, but Rob Smith's also quite in prime position in fourth. And you've gone.
Yeah.
Absolutely booted it. That was not a Gav restart.
No.
Although you've not caught him napping, he's only half a second back and gaining on you.
Yep. That's okay.
And Rob Smith absolutely caught Ghost Rider napping. Nearly had him into turn one there. I think the traction on the softs has saved him.
Thank Mazel's left the session.
Oh, lovely internet glitches.
He changed his internet supplier as well, and I was hoping that would be...
Well, at least it's allowed you to invite him to sessions again.
Well, that is true, because there was a whole rationale that any time I invited or I hosted a lobby, back Mazo couldn't join, despite me inviting him.
We had to keep getting other people to host the lobby.
Yeah, exactly.
Which wasn't great, but it is what it is.
Yep.
Update on Scottish Ninja. He hit the curb on the outside of the last corner and obviously ran wide and he spun into a wall.
Oh,
That is so unlucky because he was having a brilliant race as
he
well.
was. But that'll teach him for Tier 4.
Yep. There you go, Swanky. Think of it that way. You know now what not to do in Tier 4. And remember, I'll be watching.
Ah, exactly. So will I.
Singapore, full wets, no assists.
That's his prize for winning.
No, that's his booby prize if he crashes
Oh,
out
is
again. Hell, even I couldn't do that.
We wouldn't want to.
Singapore, full wet, no assists.
We had full wets in Singapore for MRCX on season 8, did we not? Or season 9?
I didn't race it.
Ah.
In season 8, I had the title locked out by then, so I didn't race Singapore.
Ah.
Being that it's not one of my favourite tracks. And season 9, I didn't race it either.
Ah.
I'm not a huge fan of Singapore. It's
I
one of
do
them
like
where
it.
I can do okay, but I kind of bundle through it.
Yeah.
You definitely had the pace that day.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed that. I love that. Mindful, just that little bit faster.
Trading fastest laps with the Wasp, you are. Yeah, he seems very, very hooked up on this track.
Yeah. Do you know what? If he won it, I would absolutely be the first to congratulate him, because I did call him at the start, and he is still my favourite.
Connor says that MRCX, when it was wet, was season 9 because me and him were on comms.
Ah. Excellent.
I believe me and him were on comms for X at some point this season anyway. I can't remember if it's Imola or Australia.
Oh, safety car! Safety car! Safety car!
What's happened there?
And there's been a moment with a Haas and a Ferrari at turn 5.
So there has, Fox and back Mezzo.
Now, Ghost Rider, pit for mediums, boy.
Yeah, he will drop plenty of positions, but probably not as bad as he would have done.
No, exactly.
And it still puts him instead to try and fight his way back.
Interesting tactic by Mindful Wasp.
Connor's just confirmed it. We are on comms together for Imola. The race that will not be this weekend.
Yep.
For those unfamiliar, Imola is having flooding issues and they have cancelled the race so they can concentrate on the local people and any casualties and whatever rather than worrying about another event.
Which is the right thing to do, right? And at any point where there is sports or anything like that, yes, it brings people together, but right in the aftermath, you do not need the attention being taken away.
Well, there is predicted more possible rain over the weekend, and they said that safely the only way they could even consider running that race was closed circuit like we had in 2020.
Yeah.
Because having fans travelling there is putting more risk.
Correct.
I believe it was the Prime Minister or something of that region actually asked them not to hold it.
Yeah.
So they could concentrate on everything else that's going on.
And that's the right thing to do. And as much as people will be disappointed, it's the right thing to do. And it just means that the next race is only a week away at Monaco.
Oh yes, Mona hell.
Monaco, go Pops.
My probably least favourite track.
Well, yeah, that's true.
It's the one I struggle with the most.
I do not like it. It's the one street track that I absolutely detest. And you know me, love a Miami, love a Singapore. Australia's a pile of rubbish, full of spiders and snakes and other things that kill you. So yeah.
I'm going to say the kangaroos don't kill you.
Well,
unless they happen to jump on you.
Yeah, exactly. They could kick you with their big feet. Skippy the skippy kangaroo.
Well, in the same token, a horse could do that as well.
Well, that's right. I've been kicked by a horse.
That explains why you're so mad.
Back when I was... back in my younger days, I was kicked by a horse. What is Mindful Wasp doing? Calm yourself, Lewis. Calm yourself, son.
Come on, Lewis, calm down. You do realise that got banned because of Max. Just because you're in the Red Bull doesn't mean you have to be Max pre the banning of these things.
Safety car will be in this lap.
Yeah, it should be. The field is very, very bunched.
Yeah. And interesting, the dynamic. So the next hard runner's Pizza. Martin's in front of him, Rob Smith in front of him, Lewis then me. So, and look, oh, there's a bit of grey cloud going on.
Back Mezzo. It wasn't a connection issue, it's his PlayStation.
Oh.
He's put in general chat, it's got a little bit too warm with itself.
Oh crikey! I never knew the springs in Finland were so warm, Tommy.
Best bet with that is to get it opened and clean it out. All the air vents clog up and the fans clog up. They're a nightmare for it at the PS4s, especially if it's one of the original style ones.
Yep.
I know mine's sat in the bedroom and it's absolutely caked in dust. I need to open it up. But you do need I believe it's T5 security Torx bit to actually open it. It's one with a hole in the middle. You can't can't do it with a standard bit.
No, I thought safety car was coming in this lap, but no, it hasn't.
I'm surprised it isn't.
Yeah.
Did you drop back a little bit too much and hold it up?
It actually may have been that, to be fair. I did, but at no point did I get a warning. Like, you know, you normally get in game and say you've got 30 seconds to catch up to the safety car. Didn't do that, so it's obviously just got a little bit excited. Bernd Mailander decided he wants to do another circuit of the Hungaroring before he has his goulash.
Yep. Although I think PlayStations in general are just getting a bit too warm at the moment.
Yeah.
My 5 was getting a little bit warm. When I opened it up, stripped it down, it was pretty clean.
Yeah. And to be fair, like the newer, and even the 4s tend to be not dust collectors, because they have their fans are quite well designed in terms of bringing air in, but not necessarily anything else.
Oh, the original 4 is a horrible dust collector.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is completely.
But the Slim and the Pro aren't too bad.
No. They're good. What?
Gary's going to get stung.
Who said that?
Biff.
I could say many things to that man.
Our Scottish friend, is it Alan McLaughlin?
Yes.
Good to see you, Biff.
Enjoy your tier 4, Biff.
I was going to say, I hope you're supporting the boys, but neither of them are in anymore.
Are you supporting me? Right,
well,
safety
yeah,
car's
he
in
might
this lap.
be. Even though he's a Rangers fan and you're a Celtic fan.
Yeah, exactly.
The bitterness ensues.
Oh, I know.
Well, at least it gives you a trophy to look at, because you ain't getting one in tier 3 this season.
No. I
might get an X one though. Oh,
yeah.
Martin and Pizza have had a collision. That's a 5-second penalty for single track. I wonder if we'll see that in the stewards afterwards. Oh, you've gone very early again. I wondered if you might wait and try and throw him off a little bit. B17's just had a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag. I wonder if we'll see that afterwards as well. But we are back racing. We're into turn 1. We're on lap 25. Will the Wasp be able to sting the Garv, or can the Banshee run away and hide? We shall see. Let's have a look further back. Ghost Rider is currently in 12th. That tyre glitch has really ruined his day, because he was on for podium at least, I think.
He certainly was. It's. Do you know what? Right, you never want to benefit or see somebody kind of get impacted by the game, but it happens. We know that.
Yeah, if the speed of their own accord, then so be it. It's a bit tough luck. We all do it at times.
Yep.
And you don't mind taking the benefit. When it's a game glitch, it's a very bitter pill to swallow.
It is. 100%.
I mean, I think we've all had it at some point. We've all had game glitches. I've had drive-thrus for no reason. I've had a delta that says I'm 1.2 in the green. Next minute it's 0.3 in the red and climbing, even though I'm slamming on the brakes. I've got 7 seconds to recover it. Next minute I've got drive-through.
Yeah.
This game is awful for glitches.
It is.
I'll be so glad to say bye-bye to it and hello to F123. We've only got, I believe, about 4 weeks.
Yeah, 16th of June. What?
Shiran's just popped up. Don't wasps have their stingers in their tail? Rob better be mindful.
Oh, that's...
Well, he did say stingers up their rear, but Rob better be mindful. Yes, he best has.
Yes, he
has. Because he will get stung if he gets too close. Might get stung with a broken wing as well. Although you're doing pretty well at gapping him at the moment. The Gary's on a charge. Single track is P4, absolutely hounding the back of that McLaren in front of him. The Willie is coming alive. Well, he's got to make the best of it, because he does get 4th place demotion at the end for being a tier 2 driver. Ghost Rider's out!
Retired. Safety car.
Full safety car again. I wonder if anybody is going to pit and try the soft strategy.
No one.
Melvin's in. Sussex River, what are they doing? Let's stay on board with Melvin and have a look.
I was about to say no one's going to benefit from this. Certainly the front runners won't. Because,
Fox is getting absolutely stuffed by this. Melvin had a penalty to serve as well, and Melvin has gone for softs.
Oh, wow.
What is Fox taking? Softs as well. Both Ferraris have done the same trick. They are both seeing red in their red machines.
So Ghost Rider's race went from greatness on pole in the early stages to not the greatest, and it's got worse.
Pretty much. I do wonder what happened there, because I wonder if he's missed his braking point or something, because he seemed to sort of be off the track quite a bit.
Yeah. Do you know, and I genuinely, I keep saying it, right, but I'm going to say it. Lewis's racing tonight has been superb. And all the times, and again, saying that, when we've seen him in the past and he's maybe been a bit hot-headed, he's tackled tonight in exactly the way that we expect everyone to. He's picked his moments, he's went wheel to wheel cleanly, no bumping or anything like that, and he's just picking up good, decent points.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I battled him a lot in Season 8 at the beginning. And we had some really, really good battles. France. I spent all race chasing the life out of him. And the only reason I got the position and the win, really, is because he ran out of fuel.
Simon's in the pits.
There's a few gone in the pits. Simon's in.
Martin.
Era Voice is in.
But again, though, right? So they're going to come out right at the back of the field. Even if you're on the soft tyre, which is superb, you're not going to get past, 13, 14 people.
No, but you might get past a few and pick up some decent points.
Oh, yeah, you will. I mean,
and some of you were approaching 11, 12 laps on these mediums. I know Chunk's been behind safety car.
Yeah. Well,
the hard runners are all 11 and 12 laps as well.
Yeah.
So yes, it's been behind safety car, but they are still going to be degraded.
Yeah, 18% my tyres are at.
Which proves how much time you spent on the safety car. Because you're on your 12th lap on them mediums.
Thank you.
And them mediums should roughly be around 40% by now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, I had some great battles with him, but then I think the pressure of the championship got a bit too much and he got a little bit hot-headed.
Yeah, and do you know what?
And started making silly mistakes.
Yeah, and I think when you are going for championships, you sometimes need to know when to back out, as opposed to just going for every move possible. Because you're not going to safety car in.
Yep, certainly is. But yeah, I completely agree there. You're not going to make every move stick. You've sometimes got to pick your moves and sometimes accept a lower position for the points.
Yeah,
you can't win every single week.
No, you can't.
You can't be podium every single week. The whole point is to pick up the maximum you can every week without risking your car.
Exactly.
And at the end, hopefully, it pulls off into a championship. And Gav's gone really early again and caught Mindful napping a little bit, although he gets better traction on the final corner.
Yeah. He does indeed.
You have caught Rob Smith a bit. That gap is nearly a second between him and Mindful. And Single Track's really trying to make the most of it. Although while we were talking, Single Track did pop up on the YouTube and said it was a bump up the rear under safety car, so that 5 seconds should come off.
Yeah, that's true.
So you need to scamper 5 seconds away from him. And he's now into P3.
Yes, indeed, but he'll get demoted 4 places.
Yeah, so he might end up taking the on-track win, which will come out as P5. 10 points for the Williams team.
They need all the points they can get.
Unless either you or Mindful have anything to say about that and go, no, you are not passing me.
Of course.
I think the first one you'll be battling with is Mr. Wasp himself.
Will be.
Martin better watch out for that sting in the tail. Let's have a quick look further back. Donny, who was obviously very quick early on, had a good qualifying, is currently P11 on mediums. Melvin's already passed him on the softs, but if he can tag on to the back of Melvin, he could potentially get some of the runners in front of him. Melvin's now got Fire J. Well, they're battling a little bit into the penultimate corner, but Melvin has the inside for the final. That'll give him the run, and he's almost on the inside of Mutt's Nuts. Melvin's really making the most of these softs. Say it was P14 a few laps ago.
Yeah. He needs the points, remember though, so he's got nothing
and
to
he's
lose.
got Mutt's Nuts. Traction out of turn one was amazing, and he just launched it.
It's getting very dark, by the way.
Now it certainly is. He's now going to play catch up to B17. I believe Era Voice has had a spin at turn 2. Oh, a collision with Fire J by the looks of it. They're both off. I wonder if we'll see that one in the stewards. Let's have a look back up the top. So it's yourself, Mindful Wasp, Single Track, Rob Smith, all separated by around 2 seconds between you and Rob. For the 3 back is Pizza, so he's really suffering on them hards. Jackster on the mediums is practically pushing him around this final sector. And then there's another gap to B17, so the hard runners are really suffering at the moment. And I hear some deep sighs from you, so I'm guessing you are pushing like crazy. So let's see what else is going on. Fox has just got Mutt's Nuts. So that's the 2 Ferraris currently in points paying positions, but Fox will take a 4th place demotion. So unfortunately he won't pick up anything at the moment. Fire J is back in the pits. We'll have a quick look at that while there's not a lot going on. And just picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's really not his night tonight. Era Voice is also in the pit lane. And it's a front wing for Era Voice. Fire J has gone onto the softs. Let's have a look back up the front, see how this mad Scottish Banshee is doing, trying to defend from the sting. They're doing a pretty good job of it at the moment. And luckily for you, I think Martin is about to arrive big time on scene to keep the Wasp busy. We have a yellow flag in Sector 2. I believe that's Fire J, is it? No, it was the Hornet. Simon is not having a good night. And I believe you've managed to break the DRS that time round.
Mm-hmm.
Martin certainly has it though. But Mindful Wasp's straight line speed is such that Martin wasn't making any ground on him really. That is some mental straight line speed. It's like you at Miami. I have speed!
Speed and power!
Have a quick look further back. Melvin is up the patootie of the pizza. Softs versus hards. I don't suspect that battle will last very long. Fox is up the chuff of B17. Again, soft versus hards. I don't suspect that will last very long. You have managed to keep Mindful out of the DRS at the moment, probably because he's very busy with single track at the moment. You may owe single track a pint after this. Yellow flag in Sector 2. What's going on this time? Donny and Mutt's Nuts both off. I wonder if they've had a little bit of a coming together. I hear the stewards crying at all the reports that could potentially come in now. Oh, Martin is gaining on Mindful now. Practically pushed him round turn 1. He had to take evasive action. He was that close. Scottish Ninja's now left the session. I thought he retired ages ago. Mutt's Nuts is back in the pit lane. So we're on lap 33. We've got this one to finish and 2 more after it. Nuts is out. Oh, that's a pit lane retirement. No panic, there will not be a safety car, it's too late in the race anyway. Fire J has just set the new fastest lap of the race. Quite a good lap as well. By all accounts, making the most of his softs. Melvin seems to have stagnated a little bit in P7 now. 6 laps on the softs, I bet they're starting to run out of steam though. Let's pop back up the front and see what happens. Unfortunately, that Wasp is going to have the DRS this time. Can Gav get enough of a run off the final corner to hold him off? I believe he can. And Lewis is flashing like an old man. Which Single Track will be very pleased to see. We're on lap 34. I believe the podium positions are almost set. So what's Frank Martin said? Tyre glitch and wheel stopped working. Was having a decent race for once. Good luck, boys. Wheel stopping working would explain why your DNF looks very, very weird. Don't worry, Gav. Just breathe.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming up towards the end of lap 34. Just one more lap after this one. Our running order is Night Shadow, Mindful Wasp, Single Track, Rob Smith, Jackster, Panitza, Melvin, B17, Fox River 8, Dumbest Hornet, Donny, Backmazo, Fire J and Era Voice. What's that cheeky ninja saying? Tier 4 is calling, Mr. Simba. I do not need to go to Tier 4. I think I'm holding my own somehow in Tier 2. So Tier 4 would not be a good idea. Thanks for the invite though. And the Gav has managed to resist the Wasp at the moment. I agree with Kaiser Soze. Nice recovery from B17. He's currently P8 on 18 lap hards and giving Melvin a very hard time, who's on the softs. Like we said though, them softs are pretty much dead at this point. We've got some very tight action up at the top. 0.2 of a second that gap is. I think we'll stay on board with this for the finale. Both flashing like old men in raincoats. Oh, and Mindful makes a late move and he's taken the lead. Oh, 3 corners to go and he's taken the lead. What a move that was though.
That was a superb move. Do you know
Big
what?
hands up to
Well done to him. And I called him at the very start, and do you know what? I went a little bit more carefully at that corner, and he's always been better on the brakes in this whole race. You could see it earlier on in the race, so I knew if he just got that little bit closer, then he would be able to do it. So
there we go. Mindful Wasp takes the win. Night Shadow, brilliant drive for second. Rob Smith third. That's your podium. Single Track is 4th. Jackster 5th. Panitza 6th. Fox River 7th. Melvin 8th. B17 9th. Donny 10th. Backmazo 11th. Fire J 12th. And we are just waiting on the Hornet and Era Voice. There we go. Hornet takes 13th. Era Voice is going to complete it with P14. That was certainly a bit action-packed. All the safety cars were very bunched together though. So, game has given Fox River 8 driver of the day. Probably because he gained quite a lot of positions. Let's get the podium celebrations out of the way and then I will look for my driver of the day. Here we go, let's see what ridiculous podium celebration we've got. Okay, I can live with that one. Nice, calm and collected.
Yep.
All these very familiar faces looking the usual selves, just different outfits. Getting in there with your champagne as well. Make sure it's soaked.
Of course.
But yeah, what a superb race from all of the podium runners, to be fair. So there we go. Driver of the day.
Mindful.
I've got a couple of options here. B17 for his recovery drive, or my other one is your assessment as well, Mindful Wasp.
Yep.
Because that was a brilliant drive from P5, very respectful, no hot-headedness, just kept himself calm. Did an esports basically, kept it calm and took it on the last lap.
Yeah. And do you know what, right? That was superb, right? He got a better run. You know what it's like on the final lap? You're always going to take it easy. The one behind is the one that's always going to be able to make the opportunities or moves, and he did it fantastically.
He did, yeah. I'll tell you what, we'll go with it. Mindful Wasp, driver of the day.
Yep. All credit to him. Could not fault him.
Nope, definitely was a faultless drive. And I thought you were going to prove me wrong and take the win yourself.
Do you know what? So close yet so far, but the right man won. The right man won because he performed admirably the whole race. So I have no issues being second to him.
Well, there we go. I think probably got a bit of a lobby crash here because mine's not moving at all. Typical F122. But there we go. We've had all the times up and everything. So I think we shall call it a night there. So thank you to the few people that did avoid the football match and actually watch us and comment with us on YouTube. And thanks, Gav, for giving us a little bit of insight as the driver comm. And Gavley, of course.
Oh yeah, she's still down at turn 2. I better go and get her.
Yeah, you best do. But thanks for that. It's saved me a night on my own.
Exactly.
Right, well, anybody who wants to watch Tier 4, it will be on in about 20 minutes. So, tune back in. And for everybody else, we will see you next week. Good night.